Welcome back to Techtonica. My name is Nilaus and we are here going to make a big gigantic mega build factory, and I've done a lot of preparations because how the hell am I gonna squeeze in 3-4 hours of build time into a 20 to 30 minute video so it doesn't become too long? Well, that means a lot of preparation has been done in advance, and let me know if I succeed on making it into a coherent story, and of course like it if you like this. So what do we have here? We have a big room that I have carved out of the plane. You can see how big it is. This chunk here, it takes up a majority of the starting area. We're starting here with Terminal Lima, where we have some iron, we have some copper, and we have lots of space. So let's talk a bit about what we're going to build here. Now we've reached the point where I want to start working on the research core, the blue cores, and they take a lot of things. They take some purple cores, so I could basically take my existing factory and just repurpose it, but no. We want to build a mega factory that is dedicated to this and only this, so that it will just keep going, and then we have a factory here. So this is also serving as a guide on how to build factories in this wonderful game. So let's break it down. Purple science require iron and copper, and then we have the processor units. Processor units require plant matter. Plant matter requires plant fiber. Plant fiber comes from the kindleweed. Then on top of that, we need some cooling systems. Cooling systems require shiverthorn. Shiverthorn comes from the extract. That means we also need shiverthorn. So that means we need iron, we need copper, and we maybe need some limestone. I don't think so, but let's see. And we then need to do some farming. So the way I've prepared it, I prepared that we have 8 lanes for a bus. We're going to make builds in here. And then sort of at the very end, we should have the blue balls coming out. Yeah, let's call it something else. So we're going to start by looking at these locations. I have also brought some biomass in. We'll also be making some more biomass, hopefully enough to keep this fueled. And we have a full Mark II belt of iron coming in. Let's just bring this back in here or into the build. And we also have the same over here for the copper as well. Also coming in here. So there's 10 miners in each location, and that should be enough. So the first thing we want to build, there are a number of things. I'm going to reserve some spaces for things that I'm not going to build right now, but we'll just sort of mark it. Let's get started on the actual build. We're starting to the first thing we want to make room for is a build over here for biomass, and that will require us to get some plant matter inbound. I'm not going to build this, but I'm just going to make it ready for us, and then I'm going to have the biomass, the actual biomass outbound here on that belt. Then we're going to have 3 space in between, or 4 space in between, and then we're going to have limestone in here. Now at this point, if we look at this, we'll just go on. Then I'm going to have my 8 lanes wide bus, and that means anything coming in here will sort of have to go up, and anything coming in here will also have to go up, and then of course you will also have to go up here. That means when we have some items inbound, we're going to have a box somehow right here, and then we go all the way in, and it goes down here, and this one also goes down in here, and on the outside here. Then we need to set it up, and there's a specific way. I've decided that it goes 2 from the wall to there. Okay, wrong locations. Let's go 2 from the wall here, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. So that's going to be sort of our basic premise. I'm not going to have it this big because I can't support it on a Mark II limestone belt. But this will be sort of storing it here, and this will be biomass. We're going to come back to all of these things a bit later. The next thing we want to do is make room for another inbound and outbound. This will be the limestone. It's coming out here. It's a little bit silly that it's right next to each other, but that's kind of just how it has to be, and that goes down here. Limestone will also be put in a box, and then it'll be in a... Here, that will be taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 smelters. And all these things I can easily do. So that basically says these smelters... yeah, I know what there's a problem here. Let's try to take this out, if we can. There. And we are also going to, from here, actually have a belt inbound. This will be a fuel belt, yes. Because obviously we're going to have a fuel belt inbound if we're going to make some smelters. Then we have that is the outbound belt here. And then the inbound belt will be here. And then we go back to here and at exactly the same place, aligning it with the start of that one. And then we get some nice design here. If we could build it correctly. That is 8. That should be enough. So now we need to build the actual iron smelting. And we're going to take iron smelting in here. Iron smelting comes in. And it has to go all the way down here. It will go out that way. Like that. Then we're going to get some fuel inbound here. And then I'm going to do the same thing for copper, which means this is copper out. And this is copper in. There. And then all we need to do is fill this up. And fill this up. Like that. And now all we need to do is kind of focus all of this and just put it in here. So let's look at how I want to do this. This will be outbound for copper. So what I do is I'm branching it off here, and I'm going to put anything excess into this box. Then I'm going to take anything excess in this box. I'm going to bring it out here. Remember, this belt here will be, actually this one will not. It'll go in here. And no, it will not that one. It's hard to keep track of all these things here. And also coloring of the belts. Look at that. There's some wrong color belts here. Yeah, we'll fix. Let's see. Let's focus on this one. Output, 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 and these are inputs. So these are output because, and what was it? Is this? No, this is going to be the copper. This will be the copper here. Why can I not just use the fast inserters for this? Well, because I don't want to fill this up entirely with copper, because then it uses too much fuel on burning copper that we don't need. So I'm going to be filling this one up here as well. So with that being said, all I need to do now is basically do all the inputs and outputs of this, and then we can just wish forward with that. So this looks nice, doesn't it? I think it looks very nice. And we see here that we have copper coming in, iron coming in. They're filling up these boxes, and we have, well, we don't have Kindle wine extract turning into limestone, but we do have our stockpile limestone that goes in and out again. Little conveyor. We can also just cut the corner, but hey, it has to go down there, so let's be consistent. And then some plant matter, when it comes in, goes in and becomes some biomass that we are going to be using. And I also now fed all the mines from this one. Now, it is time to us to move on. So what is it we want to do in the next part? Well, let's go back in here. There is a few things. If we look at this one needs electrical components. Electrical components require copper wire. So we have to get copper wire and electrical components. This part here requires mechanical components, but it just turns out that this also requires copper wire and mechanical components. So we need copper wire, mechanical components, electrical components. We actually also need, for this part, iron component, but we need so little of it that I have a good idea for how to deal with it. So that means copper wire, which is copper only, copper, this thing here. Let's see. So let's see if I can figure out a good way. So the first thing, what if we get copper in here, and then we make this into copper wire? Yeah, that's a bad idea. Obviously we want to get copper in here, and then we can get this as outbound. Yes. So that gets outbound here. So we get copper in here, and this will be copper wire. Then the next one is here. That one. This will be there, because then it can take the copper from that side. It can then take some iron from this side here. This is iron coming in, and then it will also have an outbound, like so. So iron in on this belt. That means you have now iron and copper inbound, and that goes out on this belt. Great. Next one, we now have an iron wire here, and that goes into the last one of the stuff we need, electrical components. Electrical components is outputting more than inputting, right? Yes. So, what if we then take it a little bit out there? And then also take this as out. Because we don't really need a lot of iron for this, so we can easily do this. And then this is then the copper wire inbound. And that goes in and make electrical circuits. Oof, well, that's pretty good. Now, at this point, after we get this, we don't actually need copper for anything else beyond that. So that means the last place we get copper inbound is actually there. Is that really true? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, maybe it is. And so we don't really need copper for that many things. It needs inbound here, and of course it needs it for a lot of these pipes here. And then we'll need to bring them out on the bus here. Then we have a few tiles here. It also just looks like we missed out a little thing. I think this one needs to be moved over as well. So we'll just do that. We'll move these one tile over because I just love making things one off and fixing it later. Yay! So now all the intermediates are also built. If we can see they are working here. There's full of electrical circuits, full of mechanical components, and full of copper wire. We have also our bus filled up, the ones that are not listed yet. This is the kindle vine, and this is the plant matter. So they will come later. And we've also taken out the copper because we're not going to need that anymore. We've converted it into all the ingredients. And now we get a little bit more difficult. Whew. All right, let's get into the smelting. No, not the smelting, the farming part. So I am really inclined to make it here, and I think I have to make it one further away. So I'm gonna make a setup here with, yeah, let's make them now. If I misplace it, it's bad. Right, then just hope that we don't misplace it, I guess. Lovely. And you're going to be here, you're going to be there, and you're going to be there. I will not have any storage for this. And this will be the first iteration. So we are going to get that out here, just on a small slow belt. And it goes in, and in. And we're going to get that out. This will be for kindle vine. Funny, sometimes you can't connect it when you're up there. You have to go there. And this will be that one. So the kindle vine is coming back out into circulation, and we are going to, from here, also just get a normal slow belt into the first one. And we'll just use normal red inserters there. And the only thing missing is on this side, we are going to have an output, and this output will, for some reason, it doesn't want to select, and that will take these twigs, unnamed twigs. And this is when I then need to see that. That is the outbound. And then I'm going to get inbound here and here. And yay, I did actually give myself enough room for once. There you go. Are you ready? Almost. So that comes in here, that gets put out here. I don't know if this is enough. It actually, I think it is enough. And then we just need to bring stuff out. If we look at it, then the most abundant material for this is the kindle vine extract, right? And we just have, it's the plant matter, Let's get the plant matter out here. Plant matter comes out here. Yes, because this will be the kindle vine that goes backwards. And then I'm going to get so, and like so. And then we need to make a lot of these. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the side as well. Way too many ingredients here to make me not go crazy. And this will be a nice build here. And copy paste would be lovely. And are we getting anything? Looks like we're getting something. You're just slowly getting out there. And I think it's actually enough. I'm not sure. Well, it has to be. Otherwise, we'll just, you know what? We'll just bail the next one. It doesn't hurt us. And that will be tweaks. And these can't be selected. There we go. This will now be the plant matter. Plant matter, plant matter, plant matter, Yeah, plant matter. Alright, so this is excellent. Now what are we going to do? We are going to take, first of all, we're going to be putting a light here. We're also going to put some lights in the other ones. Now, the last one will always be starving a little bit, so I'm just going to be putting some extra in here. Good, so this is actually pretty neat. Now I just need to bring this back home, and I need to bring this to... yeah, this needs to merge over to... I guess this one. Yeah. This one, and... Because it's only used for one thing. God, this is horrible. Man, I really wish they would do something about these belts, but okay, it's coming. There we go. Okay, good. So that is good. Then now going back and becoming more limestone. That's excellent. And this will be put into the next build. So I'm just simply going to say, hey, this is next build. Don't know what next build is going to be making. Well, I do. And let's see. I want to make sure that it's aligned correctly. That is good alignment. Then this will be making these plant matter frames. Good. However, I don't need the plant matter frames for very many things. I need it for one thing. So couldn't we just get it directly into the circuits? So the circuits will need plant matter frames and some electrical components, and then get one outbound. So I could get my electrical components in here. And then I can grab electrical components, and I can grab the plant matter. Seems right. I think I'd want to do 2 plant matter here and 2 there. And all this needs is now an output like this. That goes back into the normal one, and then we have basically taken care of all of this. We get some processor units, which will be stored as usual in that one. Cool. And then we can go on to the next. One more step along the way to completion. And now we have all the Kindlevine extract they are taken out, and we now have processor units here. We're also sort of removing things now from the bus. This one is being removed because that's no longer relevant. And now we need to go in and make another build for this. This will be for the Shiverthorn. So I was saying this was normal, and that was one more. I'm just checking. That's like 4 distance in between here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. See, now again, blueprints would be nice, but you know, I'm holding out and thinking, you know, blueprints, they will be here. They will obviously be making blueprints for a game like this, but it's not something you make in the early access version. That's just too early and too big of a thing. If you think about it from a development perspective, if they did do this, what other things wouldn't they have done? And from this, hey, what the hell? Did I misplace it? Yeah, I misplaced these, I think. Well, according to what I did. See, this is again why we want blueprints. There, and there. And yeah, so then there would be a lot of other things that are more relevant that wouldn't be in the game right now. Like, for example, the terraformable environment, which I think is kind of one of the core ingredients of this game. So we can issue our request for things we'd like to see in future versions, but let's not get overly pessimistic about the things that are not here yet. There, so this will be, I think it's these weird things here we are getting out. I think so. No, yeah, okay, well. They will be making those spindly things, which will be turned into, yeah. That's gonna be 1. So it goes out here. And up to that one. Which will be inbound and inbound like we've done before. And then we need outbound here. This is gonna be different because this thing has to be the stuff we don't want. And what is it? Which one is it we don't want? Well, that's actually over here. There. And let's see. So I'm going to get you here. And then turn. There we go. So this will be our output. Now this is providing 5 plant matter outbound, which means I'm gonna need, and the majority of our outbounds have to go here. So that means 4 of them have to go that way, and only 3 of them have to go the other way. Because there's not enough outputs. And let's see, that one. And here. Out, 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 out. Okay, and then this will be the stuff that we are actually looking for. That's the Shiverthorn extract. Shiverthorn extract, that's the one. This is what we need for our future builds. For our coolant. We built coolant before in the previous episode, so we know what needs to be done. Ah, see, that's mistake. That's exactly the mistake we didn't want to have happen. Yeah. And we are starting to see something. Ooh, I think I made a mistake, but that's okay. And by okay, I mean that's a disaster that I can't allow happening. There we go. That's the one. I can't even have... Not one, because that'll jam the machines. So, yeah. Let's not make mistakes. This is the beauty of these kind of games. You make a single mistake, and then the whole thing just grinds to a halt. Which means that when things are working, that means you haven't made any mistakes. Great. So this process is now completely working. We've now also closed off one more belt. Whew, wow, that was good. Then I'm going to definitely get this as my input next one. Let's see, what is the next one we want to make? I think it's going to be something along the same lines as what we did before. Yes, like this. So what did we need the Shiverthorn for? Funny how I can't select it. There we go. And the Shiverthorn is needed for the Shiverthorn coolant there, which requires the limestone. Limestone is a lot of ingredient here. So that's probably what we want. And then that means that absolutely we need this to be the limestone inbound. And then the question is then, if I build another one here, this will then be, because I don't care about the Shiverthorn, I only care about the cooling systems. And now I know that what you're saying is like, but ratios. And we're like, yeah, but don't really care. Ironically, I don't really care. I actually left an extra one here because I know that I will need to make a little bit of a hack to how I usually do things. Let me see if this is actually the correct place. Here, oh, it should be 2 aside, 2 from the wall. Yeah, and yes, perfectly aligned, great. And the limestone comes in here, the Shiverthorn comes in here, but the iron needs to also come in. And we don't need a lot of iron, so I just build it like this. And we get the iron in here. And that goes out here as well. That's pretty simple. Then we also need to bring... Let's have a look at how fast this one requires. And we can see we can need 2 Shiverthorn every what? 2 Shiverthorn every 6 seconds. So if we have 3 seconds to transfer, that would be a transfer rate of 20, which is about the same as there and there, I guess. So we can go here. Yeah, so that is a transfer. And then somehow we can't do this now. I can't click it. Something weird happens sometimes. 7 limestone every what? 7 limestone every very instant, basically. So we need to have 2 out here. They're definitely not going to be needed at this quantity. There we go. So that's going to be the input here. And you are just going to need 1 more input. And that will be here. And then that's going to be the output. Let's get the output. This is the input of the mechanical parts, which is, again, not really using much. So I'm just going to go 1 out and 1 in. And all we need... Sometimes when you're flying, it's difficult to hit these. It's so weird. There we go. That one. And this is limestone. So it needs to connect with that limestone belt. And this means we also get rid of the iron line and the limestone line here. Cool. Let's see if I can build this into something meaningful. And so we've done all the next stuff. All of these cooling systems are now operational. They're not producing very fast, but we don't need them to produce very fast. And we have a very slim line left, and we also have very limited space left on our bus. So let's see if we can squeeze it in. The only thing we remain at this point is actually the science parts. So I'm going to make the purple science. The purple science will recycle this belt. That's good. And then it's going to get another belt inbound here. There. That is okay. It just needs to get from that one. And then let's see if we can get that here. So that's okay with that belt. We'll get these in, so they'll be happy. And then I will want to get this over into the next one. And if I then make this here, it would simply be too close because I need 3 inputs here. 3 inputs is just not cutting it. So I have to build it all the way over here and then make a little... Nope, that has to be that way. Otherwise it does weird stuff. Ooh. Yeah, I guess we have to do it this way. That looks weird. Inbound, inbound, and here. Like this. And you will then be blue. That means I can get one of the blue things I need. That one. The cooling systems can just go up and bounce over. Sweet. And the other one can go... Oh, you're gone. And the final ingredient that we have remaining is out here. I encourage you to check out that this is not one-off. There are many things that are one-off in this world, but this build is not one of them. So at this point, I'm just going to make it into a box because that I'll consider a success criteria. We don't need to do anything except for the... actually, you know what? If I've done everything else so damn nice, then it would be a little bit of a shame to not do the same thing. Do it as nice as well. And I don't know where this one's going to go. Maybe go back and we need to find some towers to put that in. But that's certainly beyond the scope right now. But I think we have the design. We are going to just get one inbound here and a single outbound. Oops, that's not an outbound. Outbound there. And so the factory is now complete, and I am honestly pretty proud of how it looks, and especially the fact that after all is said and done, it was exactly the amount of space. You go like, oh no, there's still one room. No, because that's where I need the lamp in the outpost. So this was absolutely perfect, and you can see when it comes to ratios, I don't really care. The ratios are so difficult to manage in this game that right now I've been calculating some ratios. Basically what we see is that our main constraint is going to be here. This is going to be the processor unit. That one would like to be faster, but that would require the plant feeder to be faster, and it would require several of these. Don't really care about this. I think that with this thing here we are going to produce. This one is almost going to be producing all the time. It produces 2 every 9 seconds, so that's times 5, yeah, 10 every 9 seconds. So it's probably going to make 1 per second. Making 1 blue orb sphere per second is pretty damn amazing. And the whole thing here is completely self-contained. It just takes the iron and copper inbound, and then it farms all the resources it needs. It takes any excess from the farming. You can see this one is pretty damn stuck because I am not really using a lot of these blue things here, the coolants for this build. So there's not going to be a lot of leaves coming out here. But that's okay because we are also, you can see here, leaves are coming in, and all of the kindle vine extract is coming in, and that kindle vine extract is, oh, that's so funny. Oh, we'll fix that. Kindle vine extract is coming in and gets converted into limestone. Limestone is going on this belt where it's kind of stuck, but then the rest just goes in here and just becomes a little bit more fuel. There we go. And I see a problem somewhere over here. There is a level 1. Yes, there is. Look at that. Isn't that like the essence of these factory games? Like, just one teeny tiny thing will just ruin everything. Cool. Well, it's not really going to ruin it because we are certainly having enough. Hey, we can actually work like this. Right, so that is our bus. That is everything working, and the whole thing fully contained, just taking the copper and the iron inbound, and self-fueling, self-everything. I am super proud of this build, and it just also shows you a good idea of how to make big factories in Techtonica. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. Hope you learned a thing or two. Hope you get inspired for when you get your hands on the game in just a few days from now. So thank you very much. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like button. It was a bit of an effort to do this, but I enjoyed it very much, so I hope you did as well. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.